right, welcome to Jack Dodson's Racing Insider News this week, presented by Papa John's. The pizza's pretty damn good, huh?
Yes, sir. Absolutely. Yeah.
Gotta thank them for providing dinner for me and Jack. We wouldn't eat. Gotta thank our marketing partners, NC811, VA811, GAC, Great American Company Enterprise. You guys have been with us for a few years now. I thank those guys. Bondurant Brothers Distillery. One day Jack's going to go back and get us some more stuff. And I bet if we start giving samples out, we get more people.
Yeah, I probably would.
Pepsi, Mountain Dew. MPM Marketing. If you need some help with your social media, she is the person. Factory Canopies. They give us some nice chairs here. Nice tablecloth. Really got to thank those guys. Black Acid Apparel. Got to thank them guys for the shirts that they've provided. And if you need some shirts for your team, whether you need 100, 1,000, they will take care of you.
And I talked to Bill the other day. We got some more of those other shirts, the ones I wasn't sure about. We got some.
I was wondering. I wore mine the other day. My wife said I was a narcissist because I was wearing a shirt with my face on it. Safety Clean and Performance Plus Motor Oil. And last but not least, Langley Speedway for allowing us to do the show here. Everybody at Langley Speedway.
And we're
Happy
going
New
to do.
Year. What's up, Andrew? Miss Stephanie.
All right, we're going to do our Smith Wraps
I'm
and
gonna finish eating,
Graphics
Jack.
Racing Roundup. But before we really get started on that, since we were here 2 weeks ago, we did the thing 2 weeks
What's up,
ago.
Danny?
Talking about 2021 and 2022 coming in. But since then, I went back and did some thinking and researching and looking.
Some thinking?
Yeah.
Mm.
And in the racing world, don't start. In the racing world itself, they've lost like 8 people in the 2 weeks we've been gone.
Yeah.
And that's, CJ Rayburn. I don't know if anybody knows who CJ Rayburn is. He passed away. He's one of the biggest dirt track guys in the Midwest. He built a lot of cars for a lot of people. Dale Earnhardt Sr.'s mother, Martha, passed away while we were gone. Probably 2 names.
His
a lot
brother,
of people.
Was that in between, or was that just before Danny?
Huh?
Huh?
Before.
Was it before?
Yeah. No, Danny was first.
Yeah, Danny went.
Yeah, right.
But I think Danny went before the last show.
So and
He
then
knew what I was talking about. Thanks, Jared.
and then 2 people I know I'm gonna look over here at Scott. He's not even gonna know who these people are. So, but Hill Overton and Jim Richards passed away. Do you know who they are? You actually sat at the table with Hill Overton at Charlotte.
Cool.
He's with PRN.
Yeah, I know you're talking about.
Yeah, and Jim Richards with PRN. Jim Richards got COVID and he passed away, and then Jim Richards, Hill Overton, I'm not sure what happened to him. But that's a lot of people to look at during that time frame.
Yeah.
So at Christmas time everybody's happy and excited and everything, but there's a lot of people going through a lot of different things. And so while we're talking about that also, let's talk about some of the people that are not doing, they're around and hopefully going to get better real soon. Aiden Zedrich, who runs the Bandos.
Mm-hmm.
I understand he's getting better every day. He was hoping to go back to school Monday, but that didn't work out because he's still recuperating. Spanky, Jason Eaton, who we talk to on a regular basis, used to cook for Richard Petty and all them at the racetrack. He was in pretty bad shape this week, almost lost him. And but he's doing a lot better now, but he's got I'm not sure what the lung disease that he's got. So we want everybody to, pray for him and think of him a little bit. Of course, Davey Millard, RJ Zacharias, I want to think of them and think of their families. Craig Estep, I understand, went through a lot and he's back. And Caitlin Vincey was in a real bad car wreck day before yesterday. and had to be flown to the hospital. And we're going to have her sister-in-law on here in just a minute. We'll talk with her about that. And then probably the one that comes closest of all of us is Louis Paster's. They passed away in a plane crash. And so we've got Kevin Rickman here.
Crazy thing.
We've got Kevin Rickman here. He drives in the truck series. We also got.
You got to see Louis go by him a lot. He said
That was my first memory of Louis before I actually met Louis. Something just went flying by me. Had no clue. What was that?
That
was Louis.
Inside, right?
Yeah, there he went. Gone.
So we're gonna talk with Kevin about him and talk to Kevin about his racing. And we got Jared Sadley over here and Amanda sitting over here. I'm sure they all knew Louis pretty well. So we'll talk about that in just a few minutes. Now for some news, for the racing news, wasn't a whole lot going on. Luke Lambert is going to be the new crew chief on the number 9 Noah Gregson at Junior Motorsports.
Brought to you.
I said that already.
Oh.
You're not paying attention. Smith's Wraps and Graphics.
I don't think you did.
Racing around. I did before I started all that.
Jared, don't agree with him.
Down at Stewart Haas Racing, Drew Blickensderber got the crew chief job on the number 10 car.
We were watching the last couple of weeks.
Which is not what I was heard. Not what I was hearing was going to happen. But I understand there was a little thing going on there that he ended up going over there because of something else. But anyway.
Yeah, they had worked together before over at Petty.
Yeah.
Which was kind of surprised by me that, and I think I don't know if we talked about it, we might have talked about this privately. Drew, he's been at some big teams, but he's never really done anything. So it's kind of surprised me that he would be going around and getting a job at Stewart Haas, or they would surprised they just hasn't promoted somebody from within.
And Mike Booger Ravage is going to become the performance director. We got him and Zipadelli running the performance end of Stewart Haas Racing. We'll see how that works out. I talked with, text Bill McAnally the other day. Austin Herzog is going to be driving his number 16 ARCA West car for this coming season. And Amber Balkin is going to be driving the Rhett Jones
So she got a full-time
in
deal.
a full-time ARCA series race.
Is it east or west or
the ARCA? This is the
main
main
big
ARCA,
tracks?
yeah.
Okay.
Out
Which
here,
is what, 12 races?
22.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, but I think she's going to mix in some of these other races that you can combine. I think so. Ryan Matthews is going to be running full-time in the late models here at Langley Speedway this coming year.
What?
That would kind of surprise me too.
I figured he'd stay limited and come here and run limited.
Going late models. And Caden Honeycutt is moving over to Autos by Nelson, leaving the Pulliams and going over there to run over there. I mean, leaving Justin Johnson, excuse me, and going over there. That's
kind of a lateral move.
And they had a race down at Goodyear this past weekend. I don't know who won any of the other races down there, but I do know who won the Bando race. Who won the Bando race, Scott?
I can't even. Phoenix Kimball.
Phoenix Kimball won the Bando race, and she was one of the most popular drivers. They gave it to the 5 drivers down there.
Well, some radio guy give her a big plug.
Really?
You.
I wasn't. I wasn't gonna say it. But anyway, yeah, that's the thing. So anyway, all right. I see we already have Jaclyn. Well, do we have Jaclyn Drake on there?
I don't see no picture. We can't hear you if you're talking because we don't have you up, Jaclyn.
Well, Jaclyn Drake, are you there? We need you to turn your picture on.
Turn your picture on.
Turn your picture on.
The camera.
Okay, well.
Yeah. Hey,
No, wait. Go ahead. She left.
Isn't she in like the TV side of the NASCAR?
Yeah, she ought to be able to figure this out.
I mean, this is a low budget setup. No.
And that's one of the things I'm going to ask her. How you going to be doing NASCAR TV stuff? You can't even come on the show. I'm sure she's going to come on here and have an attitude with me when she comes on.
There'll be two of us.
You know, Scott really does like me.
We see it.
Scott really does. And I think the world of him. When I'm in Southampton County, he's down here. Eddie Clark, next week, Eddie. Waiting for you next week.
What's up, Eddie?
And David Adams. Well, I guess we can just talk to Kevin because it don't look like Jaclyn's coming back.
Oh, I got tons to say.
I'm going to eat me another piece of pizza.
I was going to say we talked to Amanda, but she don't never have nothing to say. She's way too quiet. Well, Kevin, 2-3 years of racing out here at Langley now. How you like enjoying it?
It's a blast. I'm having time of my life.
How did you
And
get? How did you originally get started? Like, what said, hey, let me go get a truck and just go out there?
I snow skied ever since I was 6. So there's where the speed comes from. Just straight down the hill, just go. And then
braver than I am.
sat there and listened to John McMasters come in on Monday mornings talking about the Edwards. And started coming out to the track and watching, and got married, and we came out here for a season, and we sat up in turn 4 in the grass with Rick Pouse's family where they sit at, and just got to watching and talking to them. And I told her, I said, we could do this. Shannon Lester bought a bunch of trucks, and I got one of them, and here we are.
Well, I
With the help of Jared, and
I hate to cut you off, but we got Jaclyn back.
she's
now.
back.
Yeah, she's back now.
We can see her. What's up, Jaclyn? How you doing?
We finally.
Hey guys, how are you?
We finally got a pretty face on this show instead of what we haven't up here before. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing pretty good. It's super dark. I'm actually in Oklahoma getting prepped for the Chili Bowl. So I'm in a truck with a hauler, and this is the best light I have right here from this little, tiny bulbs they give you in the truck mirror.
Now I'm gonna ask a serious question. I heard the other day, I read the other day, I think you put it on one of your posts or something the other day on Facebook. You've been to 31 different tracks this year.
Yeah, well, technically 2021. 31 different tracks. That wasn't as many races, though, because there was a couple of tracks that I went to several times. But I finally sat down and wrote them all out, and I was pretty surprised. There was about 7 that I had never actually been to at all. So a lot of new experiences definitely last year, and a lot of nights in hotel rooms.
Yeah, I was getting ready to say, do you even have a place to live? I mean, you're on the road all the time.
Yeah, so it's funny because my mom and I, we laugh and joke that I have a place that I keep all my things, and I pay a high price for it. It's more than a storage building. But yeah, I do have a place in Mooresville.
Well, you need to tell Blake and them to let you move in with them, and they can just keep the stuff for you.
Yeah, that would be easier, I think, but they got the 2 kids, so I get to be fun aunt whenever I go over, and I don't have to worry about disciplining them or anything like that.
So tell us what exactly you're doing now for NASCAR. You moved to NASCAR now, so tell us exactly what you're doing.
Yeah, so obviously my role has changed with the car store. I'm still going to be behind the scenes doing their marketing and social media, but my role with NASCAR has me on the road quite a bit, as I'll be focusing on the short track side. Realistically, it's supposed to be just focusing on the partnerships with the NASCAR sanctioned short tracks and the modified series, and some work into the ARCA as well. But I'm always doing more than that, and it'll expand into doing some on camera for them and some marketing activation as well. So similar to kind of what I was doing for the Cars Tour, just at a bigger scale, and outside of just late models. Of course, I'm having to learn a lot about some other asphalt series that I had never had watched before.
Well, that's got to be probably one of your dreams to get to this point where you are right now, to get there. I mean, it has to be.
Yeah, it definitely is. I even wrote on Facebook, looking back into the new year, getting this job was a dream come true, and hoping that I can make a difference when it comes to the short track side and affect the sport in a positive way. And I feel like we've already kind of done that a little bit. One of my first projects was working closely with the Flow Sports partnership that we announced, which we announced in December whenever I was in Nashville, just the day of the banquet. So that itself, that partnership will bring millions of dollars into short tracks all over the U.S., as well as into the series, different series. And that was really exciting to be a part of and have a strong voice as to where all the partnership money would be allocated, which is really hard because there's so many great places and, series that need the money. But me knowing firsthand kind of what needs to be done and how the industry needs it, it was really empowering. And we had that press conference in Nashville, and I definitely got emotional whenever they started announcing it, just because I know how positively it'll impact the sport. So that was a cool moment.
Go back and tell me a little bit about you and Blake. I mean, Blake is in the sport. You're in the sport. I mean, did you all just grow up around this sport and just went in love with it, and here you are? I mean,
yeah.
he's
So,
successful.
I mean, you're right. Our father was involved in sprint car racing. So we both grew up in dirt racing and then got started racing ourselves at a really young age, and started in dirt and then transferred over into asphalt, a couple different things that we both raced. But when he graduated in high school, he wanted to be involved in motorsports in 2005, and he moved to North Carolina and pursued that. And he's worked at several great organizations over the years, and became a car chief and has won a championship with Martin Truex Jr. So his accolades are huge in all the years he's been involved. And then, of course, whenever I graduated college and moved to North Carolina, it was a good decision for me, both personally and professionally. And it's pretty insane to think about whenever me and him get together and we really talk about coming from Maypearl, Texas, this small town with no stoplights and 70-acre farm, and where we are today is definitely humbling. And I'm just happy to be a part of it and hopefully help other people that want to be involved in motorsports too know that they can do it. And it takes a lot of hard work, but it's super fulfilling thinking back on those times.
What did you take in college?
I actually went to college I was going to be a second grade teacher. And so I have a degree in science. My dad told me I wouldn't want to be a teacher because I didn't make enough money. So I decided to switch my degree.
Well, you start dealing with some of these drivers, that second grade teacher thing might come in handy.
It's true. Yeah. Sometimes, yeah.
No, but I look at Blake. I remember Blake when he was at the Bobby Isaac School there in Hickory, and I used to go hang out there with my son and everybody down there. That was really cool to see how he's progressed along, and now you've progressed along. It's really great to see.
Yeah, it's been really inspiring to see kind of how far he's come, and someone really close to me, and obviously his wife. We're involved in similar areas of motorsports, so we get to bounce a lot of ideas and highs and lows together. But my brother, when he went to that Bobby Isaac school, had no money. He was going to school full time, but also trying to work. So he was hardly getting any sleep. Yep. I remember he bought a pack of hot dogs, and he would eat all the hot dog wieners, one every single day, because he didn't want them to go bad because he had no money at the time. So, and it's not just him or me, or anyone in our family. It's a lot of people in motorsports continue to make sacrifices for the sport and the passion, love of it. And, whenever you can kind of look back and reflect and say, dang, like those times were really hard, but it all paid off. It, makes you feel good and makes me, want to help younger people that can do it and maybe make it a little bit easier for them.
Yeah, it's I kind of think it looks like that you and Blake and Jaclyn Vinci are all going to just kind of take over NASCAR before it's over with.
That'd be kind of cool.
How is Jaclyn doing? I understand she had a little accident the other day.
Yeah, she's doing great. So I've actually been away from North Carolina for about a month now, just enjoying the off season and traveling all over. But they're going to be here with me next week for the Chili Bowl. So I'll see them then. And I'm pretty excited to get us all back together with my dad's family team.
Oh, that's cool. That's really cool. Now, if you and Blake were racing together, I see you went back to racing. You took a race at Southern National this year and did outstanding from what I understand. So now if you and Blake were racing against each other, who's going to be the winner?
I'm going to say I'm going to win.
Would you move him?
Yeah, I don't think he would move me. I would move him. He knows it.
So your dad's still involved in the sprint cars?
So my dad gave up sprint car racing, but we've always had a love for the Chili Bowl. We started going about 16 years ago, so this will be my 16th one to the Chili Bowl. I competed in Chili Bowl Junior, and then we continued to go and just watch and view the races with our friends. But then I think this is the 8th year that we've had a Chili Bowl team. So my dad has a 3-car midget team. It was 4, but we got rid of one. 3-car midget team that he has 3 drivers drive in them. And now it's like a big family gathering, like reunion with all of our racing family and my friends from back home in Texas and my parents' friends. We have like 80 people in our pit on Saturday every year. And we all get together and we go to be a part of that. So it's a really cool experience, and we've continued to do it every single year.
Man, that's pretty cool. So if we ever make it to the Chili Bowl, we know where to go.
Yeah,
if they got that many people, it's a good time.
Yeah, it's definitely a good time. My mom's the trailer mom. She'll make sure you have food or drinks or whatever you need. So it's always a good time.
Food and drinks.
Well, I saw you in a picture too with Caitlin Morrow.
Yes.
You know Caitlin. I've known Caitlin for a long time. I didn't know that all y'all came from Texas. I didn't know that you all were from Texas and her.
Yeah, so Caitlin Morrow and myself raced quarter midgets together. We had actually met back in 2006 at the Western Grands and became best friends. So I used to do spring breaks at her family's house and hang out with her. And we were involved in the same region of quarter midgets. So our families became very close. I was a bridesmaid in her wedding. She's always been a good friend of mine. And I went to when I was at the NASCAR banquet, she had posted something online. I'm like, wait, you're here? Not even thinking about duh, she works in NASCAR too. Come to find out she's at the table right next to mine.
Oh, wow, that's funny.
So I'm like, hey, and then that was cool. We got to hang out because I haven't really crossed paths with her in recent years just because she's always traveling or I'm somewhere else. So that was really neat too.
All right. So when you're going home again, you got to go check in every now and then.
I do. I was just there in November. I'll probably go back again this spring or so. If I'm there for the Texas race, I always make sure to visit my parents and things like that. But we'll see. I'm not sure 100% what my racing schedule looks like, both through NASCAR and with my racing and what I'm going to be doing. So I'm trying to figure it out.
So are you going to do some more racing this year?
Well, I would love to do more races this year. Again, it's so particular based on what I'm going to have to do with my work. But I just spent a whole week here at the Tulsa Shootout watching some micros race. And I was telling my boyfriend, I was like, hey, I could work on this myself. Maybe I should get myself one and race this at Millbridge. He's like, I don't know if you want to do that. So I don't know what we're going to do yet. I'd love to do some more late model races, but I got to figure it all out.
Well, all right. Well, congratulations. You had a good run down at Southern National. I want to tell you, I've heard a lot about it. So And hopefully we'll see you somewhere this year out on the Cup Tour somewhere, or maybe you'll come around and visit some of the short tracks.
Yeah, I definitely am going to be at a lot of short tracks. The first one I'm going to be at is going to be New Smyrna Speedway for Speed Week, so I'll be there the entire time. But there's a ton of other ones that I'm going to go and visit. Some I've been to before with the Cars Tour, some I've never been to. But yeah, I'm really excited to get out there and keep advocating for the sport. And thank you for your nice comments. Southern National was a really good time. I was nervous, but I think it turned out well.
All right. Well, thank you, Jaclyn. We appreciate you spending some time. Now you can go go out and check out something now, and you don't have to sit with that little light.
I appreciate it, guys. I hope y'all have a good evening. And anytime, sorry I missed it last time.
Not
Happy
a problem.
to be on.
Not a problem.
Thank
We'll talk to you again real soon, okay?
Good
All
luck.
right,
dude.
bye, everyone.
Thank you.
That's pretty cool.
It's interesting to know that, you remember Caitlin?
Yeah.
The Caitlin
The
Morrow?
official, yeah.
I mean, I did not know they all were friends.
Well, when she started saying that, I remember she was from Texas also. I didn't know they were from the same town. I'm not sure exactly where they were from.
Well, they were from the same vicinity, but the thing is, I did not know that. And as long as I've known Caitlin, and I've known Blake, but I did not know that's the way it all worked out. That's really weird. So I'm going to get Caitlin on here one time, talk trash about her. So
Yeah. See if we can stir something up.
That's right.
They're like, when are you going to be the bridesmaid in her wedding?
I ain't going to get in that one. I ain't going to get in that one. All right. Well, we're back to Kevin again. Now, we ain't going to cut you off this time for a little bit.
Maybe. We'll see.
Hey, that's way more than important. That was more important.
No, she's a real cool girl. And, I've met her several times and talked with her, and she loves what she's doing.
You can tell.
Yeah.
You can tell she's ready to drive.
Oh, yeah.
You can tell.
I
So
know, where'd she end up at Southern National? 6th or 7th? Yeah, that's what I saw.
7th, and the first time she drove in over 2-3 years. Any type of car.
Yeah.
So that was a pretty good deal. One of the things, Kevin, I wanted to have you on the show for. We're going to talk about your stuff too, but one of the things we want to remember Louis a little bit, and give us some of your memories of Louis.
His smile, it's infectious. It's always was, always in a good mood. When things even didn't go how they were supposed to, he always just was in a just good mood, and he helped me a lot physically on the truck. But really, one that stuck out with me was Louis always asked me when we talked before a couple of times. A couple of races, he asked me, "You ready to go?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah, ready to go. Let's go have fun." And he says, "No, are you ready to go? Are you ready? Are you focused on because it's serious. It's fun and it's a blast, but it's serious and things can
That's
happen."
what they keep telling me.
That's what I know too. And I'm just like, let's go.
It's half my problem.
And but you got to be ready and focused, and that hit home when it came from him, learning from him, because he's been around for a while. So
yeah, I'll tell you, he was fun to watch because he was clean, but he was aggressive also. Well, maybe it depends on who it was, but
we missed the last race. We were in Martinsville. The wife and I were in Martinsville, and we were sitting at some Italian restaurant and just watching that battle with him and Rick, and just battling it out. Yeah. And I was talking to Rick the other day, matter of fact, on Facebook. He said, "Man, I'll never forget when Louis came up to me after the race. He just had this huge grin on his face." And he said, "That's what I'll take with me." And I said, "Yeah."
That's pretty cool. That's one of the things he'll remember. But I mean, he always seemed to be having fun with everything he did. I talked to him like 2 or 3 weeks before. He was still after me to get him his
driver of the week flag.
Driver for the week thing. And I kept telling him, "When you come on, I'll have it for you." And we never got that done. And I would really love to have been able to get him on here and talk to him and hear his stories.
Oh yeah. So, and I was ready to race with him. I was hoping this, Jared and David Newell and Jared's father have been helping me out a lot, and getting this truck ready to go. And I was really looking forward to this season coming up to at least be right there behind them.
Yeah.
At least be right up there with them and
keep him in your sights.
Absolutely, always.
That's what we're trying to teach Scott how to do with.
Yeah.
No respect. Just ride a little bit. If ain't nobody else, just ride, save your tires.
That's right.
Just wait for
Well, you know, Scott set a record in Pro Sixes
Yeah.
year before last. I mean, he had the most top fives, but being as there wasn't but like 4 or 5 cars running, that was a pretty good deal for him.
Well, I thought the scoreboard was broke when I finished 5th. I think she was spotting. My wife was spotting for me, and I asked her if the scoreboard was broke. What's my number doing up there? And I
There's
think
another
there was-
car number out
I
here.
was like, "There another 10 that I missed?" I thought it was broke. That was fun.
So what's the best finish you had? Was that the 5th?
That was it. That was it. That may be the first and only time I saw my number up there, but it looked cool.
That's right.
It
That's
looked
right.
cool for a minute.
Well, you know, Scott got his number up there at the start of the race one time. You know, he started on the outside pole, and he started, and I think there was what 6 cars in the race, and you started on the outside pole, and at the end of the first lap, he was 6th. But he got his number up there.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. We're gonna have fun. It's gonna be a good season.
So what made, I mean, other than the fact that Shannon and all them had the trucks and stuff, is that what determined that you want to do trucks? Or
I've driven a truck ever since I was in high school. That was what I had. I had a little old Nissan pickup, 2x4, 4-cylinder. 3 years I drove with no brakes.
well, that's pretty good for out here.
Yeah, that's what I figured. I was like, I should be all right then, you know. So I like trucks. I think they're fun. It was always fun to watch them when I was in the stands.
Mhm.
Trucks were a great show.
They do put on a good show.
It was
there.
fun, and for some reason I thought I could drive one, so we got one. And
That's what Scott did.
Now, how many races did you have your first original spotter before you fired her?
I think she spotted for me twice, 3 times, 2 or 3 times. I had another buddy of mine, Sean Marshall. He used to work with Chris Bundy, I believe.
You sure it wasn't Al?
I don't remember who.
Al
it was.
Bundy?
It may have been. It may have been. And I don't recall because that was before I started coming to Langley. But he spotted for me once or twice, and my wife did, and then Jared took over.
And that was the next part. And then you let
And
Jared-
then Jared gets involved. And I hit that wall coming out of turn 2 so
Was that was
hard.
his first race?
I went,
I think it was.
Did he get inside and outside mixed up?
No, yeah.
I was a little concerned.
But he said I had air in all 4, so keep it. Mind you, my toe, my toe was knocked in like this.
This cheap put on these walls for all the season. I don't know where he got it all from.
Yeah, I think I had some deep pain in that tires. It was deep in there.
But I had the wall too.
So,
Yes, you did.
so you know, when he told you you were good to go, you took him at his word.
Absolutely.
Took it at his word. Go ahead. And go.
Yeah, just keep going. And then his dad said every time I came around, because I was on like lap 11 or
How
so.
much were you turning the wheel then?
Oh, it was all over the place. I smacked the wall, I think, like his dad said, every time I came around or something. I don't know. It was fun.
Is Jared hard to work with?
Absolutely not.
Well, you need help.
And
He ain't got a garage, Jack.
Oh,
That's right.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Absolutely
I keep
not.
forgetting. I forgot.
no, and really true with him and Shannon and Rick and everybody that just helps out back there. I mean, and my wife. I mean, I couldn't do this.
You
with-
better do.
Oh, I already know. I already know.
That'd been a long trip back to where you was going.
But without them, I mean, there's no way. There's no way I'd even be out there. So
Even Jared?
I know Shannon helps everybody, I think. It seems like he's
Oh,
always
yeah, he's
He
involved.
does.
yeah.
he's building everybody's motor,
Mhm.
or a lot of them.
So he built your motor too?
No.
Oh,
Apples.
okay.
Apples did ours.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I see we have our next guest already here. Want to go ahead and get him on here and talk with him?
Okay.
We'll come back to you in a minute.
I'm here.
Okay. We're glad to have you here.
I appreciate it too.
What's up, Donnie? How you doing, man?
Mr.
How
Donnie,
you guys?
how you doing, man?
Oh, it's another day. Sorry I couldn't be there last week. I had a little deal come up, but here I am.
All right, well, good, man. And fresh off a Snowball Derby win for your car this year. That's pretty cool, isn't it?
It's pretty cool. It's kind of the main objective all year, is to win the Derby, and fortunately we got it done this year.
For guys like you, y'all live down in that area or work in that area a lot and race in that area. That is basically how everybody looks at it. They can't wait for the Derby to come along.
I'm sorry, I'm having a little hard time hearing you.
I mean, the whole year builds up just waiting for the Derby to get here. I mean, that's what everybody's shooting for.
Right.
So
yeah, I mean, everyone shoots for the Derby every year. That's just kind of our go-to, as far as on the super late model side, that's our biggest race of the year. So, the first of the year, that's what you pinpoint. We work all year long to get to that race and hopefully perform good. And, all of our cars ran good there all year. So felt pretty good going there.
So how many cars do you take to the racetrack with you when you go?
It just depends. We always, we have our primary cars, for Chandler and Sammy, and then we normally have a backup car at least for each one.
Now you normally sometimes you have a guy named Mason Dunn that helps you out at some of these racetracks, right?
Who now?
Mason Dunn. You know who Mason Dunn is?
No, not right offhand. I'm sorry. I'm just having a hard time.
I'm glad you said that because it makes me feel a lot better.
He's the tire genius, he thinks.
Yeah, he thinks he's a tire genius.
Everyone thinks they're a tire genius.
Donnie, Donnie, tell us a little bit how you got started in racing.
Well, as old as I am, actually, obviously I'm from Oklahoma City, and as a kid, I always raced. Growing up, bicycles to 3- and 4-wheelers, motocross. Got in the dirt cars, sprint cars, mini sprints, and then started getting into heavier full body cars on the dirt over here, and then I don't know, for some reason started piddling with the pavement stuff and in South Texas, and then obviously here in the Midwest where we're at, there's not very many pavement racetracks, and I was dumb enough to start going to Pensacola and Mobile back in 2003 and 4 and 5, and I got hooked, and started making my way out that way. And honestly, it was just me and my dad and a couple other guys, did it all from here, and just kept digging at it, and it just kind of got bigger and bigger and bigger, and just kept getting more into it. And fortunately, now what we've got going on, able to go to a lot more races, and it's basically just a family operation, and just like everyone else, and I just love the sport, and I'm just an idiot from Oklahoma trying to run pavement stuff.
So how many years did you race yourself? I mean, you were around for a while.
Yeah, last time I raced was a year ago in October at the All-American 400, and I'm not done yet. I'm still going to race some races when I can. When I don't have somebody running one of my cars, I'm still gonna race. So I'm not done. But just depends on what happens this year. With the drivers we got lined up, I'll still race some. I plan on racing. I've had some feet problem and just getting old, and so I've just kind of stepped back a little bit with everything else we've had going on, and that's kind of why I didn't really run too much last year, but I'm getting the itch back to go back doing it. And obviously I don't want to do it unless I'm competitive enough and I feel good enough to be competitive enough. So it's kind of where I'm at.
I mean, now your car, you run a lot of the Florida tracks and whatever down that way, Pensacola. What's your schedule look like this year as far as other tracks that you're going to?
As far as what we have right now, I'm not really sure. We're still putting schedules and everything together. I do know this weekend, obviously at New Smyrna, they got the Red Eye 50-50. We do have a couple drivers, one in the pro and one in the super running there. as far as the rest of the year, I think we have, just first couple months, we have Speed Fest. We've got a super, maybe 2 going there. Obviously, Speed Weeks. We have a super and 2 pros that week, supposedly. The only thing I have in concrete right now is I have Sammy Smith coming back for 10 races. William Solowich, I don't know the number of races he's doing. He's going to run some races. Chandler Smith's going to be back. Just haven't got a clarification on how many races he's able to do. Obviously, run the truck series. And then we'll have some other things, later to announce.
Has it ever crossed your mind as a car owner to maybe go and do some Xfinity and truck stuff too with the success you've had?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. Do what now? Is car owner what?
Well, I mean, with your success that you had, with your team, has it ever crossed your mind like to do Xfinity racing or truck racing or something like that?
No. No, I'm not even close.
Probably the smartest racer I know.
I'm a poor guy from Oklahoma City. I'm just doing what we can to what we do. And it obviously this race, all racing costs a lot of money, and we just I love the super late model deal. I'm not really interested in any of the NASCAR, ARCA, or any of that kind of stuff. I just like what we're doing, and I like short track racing. I kind of sticking with it.
Now the supers. Give me a little bit of how the difference between the supers and the regular late models, because I know the Cars Tour has done away with the supers this year.
As far as what the Cars Tour done is basically went to the pro late model version of the super late models, and basically all that is the motor combination's different. It's a wet sump motor versus the dry sump super late model motors. A little bit cheaper. Horsepower range is in that 430 range versus a super's in the 600 range. That's really the only difference in the 2 classes.
Oh, okay. Well, it seemed like to me that would be something that a lot of things would go towards is having supers, and then it seems like in our area the supers are not that big. They don't have that many of them.
No, I think we need to. I think we need to have some races up in you guys' areas, like Langley, South Boston, and I've never been to any of those places. I'd love to come and race up there, but up in the Virginia area, there's just not very much for supers to run, and I think it'd be pretty cool to get some going on. My take is the late model stocks and the pro late models are going to be very, very similar this year. In speed and how they sound, obviously, and it might be a little bit of, you can't really tell the difference, to be honest, is my opinion, but everyone has an opinion. That's the only thing I liked about the Cars Tour. There's a definite difference between a late model stock and a super, but and I understand their reason of going to the pro late model deal. There's more of those around, and for whatever reason, it was just hard to get more than 15 to 17 supers at a Cars Tour race, most of them. And so I definitely understand that point of view, and I understand their reasoning of doing it. But I still say that, we definitely, need to have more super late model races in that area.
Yeah, that would be cool to see some more super late models here. I think that would be some good racing. Well, Donnie, we appreciate you spending a couple minutes with us tonight. I know you got a lot going on, getting ready for racing this weekend too. So hopefully we'll see you around somewhere soon, and we'll get you back on here again and talk again.
Hey, I appreciate it. Sorry I couldn't hear you that well, but I appreciate you guys having me, and anytime. Appreciate it.
Man. Talk to you later. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
The man has won some races, so he don't know the great Mason Dunn. That's the cool thing about it.
Well, Mason said they're not that close. He doesn't know.
Oh, now they're not that close. You remember he's the one to come in here and say, "You need to have Donnie Wilson on the show."
Yeah, like they was buddies.
I know. I thought that surprises me.
I know if we'd have said, the big bird looking guy that's dark, you probably know who he was.
Yeah, the crazy one. So More racing, truck racing this year. What other plans you got going on? You gonna?
I'd like to go run another division.
I was just going to ask, do you
And-
have aspects of wanting to go?
I'd
run
like
something?
to. I just don't know. I got to figure out how to drive this first. Well,
Pointing at me.
Huh?
Because he's got a bunch of cars.
That's right.
No, I've got two. I got two. I got hers and I got mine. I got two.
But
Everybody
you
else's is on.
yeah, I
everybody
sat in the
else.
seat in the shop one day in his dirt late model. He fired, and that seemed fun.
Did you move it?
No,
I got to move it.
I moved your car. Oh.
He's the only one that would fit in your seat.
My car.
That was fun. But I realistically, I mean, I just don't, honestly, I don't know what I would want. I like the late models, obviously. I can't afford a late model. I'm a
All of us
landscaper,
together can't afford to leave.
so. So I like trucks. I mean, I like the trucks. I like where I'm at right now.
So what's your goal for this year?
Finish every race. Start every one of them, finish every one of them. And then I think that's success for me. I had a successful season.
You know, you got to go small steps along the way.
I mean, would I like to park in victory lane? Absolutely.
Oh yeah, there's no doubt about that.
Yeah, but if I can start every race and finish every race, I think we run 12 races this season in the trucks. I'll be very, very happy and bring it home in one piece every night. I'll be happy, man.
Yeah.
And she'll be happy too because she won't have to listen to me.
Yeah, the wife seems to catch a lot of the grief when stuff goes wrong with the race car.
Mhm.
I know. What did you think when he first come and said, "Hey, I think I'm gonna want to go racing"? Did you say, "Are you freaking
I always
crazy"?
asked her. I said, when we got married,
you
did
said,
you ever think we'd
no.
be out?
Yeah,
And she just looked at me.
she's laughing awful hard.
Yeah.
There was a lot of discussion about it. There was, okay, well, I'll just sell the truck, and I couldn't let him do that.
Oh, he had already. Oh, so he got the truck
He'd
and
already
then
had the
told you.
truck. No, he told me he was getting it. He secured it, got it, brought it home,
Oh.
and talked back and forth about it, and then you're just go do it. I can't stop him. I could stop him from doing it, but I can't.
Yeah.
I can't. It's what he wants to do, and I just had to let him do it. And I don't. Do I like the cost of it? No, but he just has so much fun out there, and I have so much fun watching him.
So you haven't developed the $50 plan,
Uh-oh.
What's the 50?
Oh no, I don't know that one.
huh? Anything that comes into the house, parts wise and everything, you just say cost $50.
Oh no, that was $250. I'm sorry, $250.
I know Jared's probably figured that one out.
Yeah, $50.
Don't worry about it. I don't even want to know how much money I spent coming in right now on stuff. Ask him what he does during the week at home when the truck was sitting in his driveway.
Well, it's parked out front on the trailer, out the street, right on the main street there.
You get a parking ticket.
I'm out there. I'm an old guy with a race truck. They're not going to bother me. I hope. But you got to go out there and set in it, and just. It won't hook. The trailer's not hooked up or nothing.
I know,
So it's just,
this is one of your wife's proudest moments. She's out there looking through the curtain. That's my man right there.
And she's probably going, it ain't costing me a thing.
He ain't gonna carry nothing on the trailer.
That's the truth. Yeah. Oh yeah. I'll sit there and make race car noises.
Scott's done that.
Yeah, I'm not ashamed.
Scott's done that too. Sometimes he has to make the race car noise because the car won't run.
Well, that happened to me one time, getting ready to go out for qualifying. Things shut off. Why did it shut off? I mean, I'm literally in the helmet getting ready to drive through the wall back there. Forgot to put gas in it.
Forgot to put gas in it.
And then they said, don't
Let me
feel
write
bad.
that.
Now, I heard that someone else in the division, I'm not going to name names, has had that issue a time or two.
Time or two.
Yeah, so I'm not
Who
gonna,
was that?
I'm not going to feel bad. I don't want to name names.
Oh, I would say Jack and me wouldn't say it either.
Well, because nobody listened. So why don't you tell us who it was?
So apparently Wayne's got a trophy out there. Wayne Lyons got a little memorial at his house or something for it. I think it had a gas cap or something on it.
Gary Osborne did that in Champ Kart racing. He forgot to fill up.
I did it to her a few times when she was Sunday racing out here. She'd come
Man,
off after a
preacher,
heat
can you
race,
want this
hit
guy?
turn 3, and the car just died. She's out there pushing the go-kart down the backstretch.
That's why you were fired. Jesse's a new crew chief.
Oh my goodness. Did she fire you for a crew chief back then?
Breaking news.
My weekend is just freed up.
No, they didn't.
That's right. No.
Yeah, that's pretty bad when you forget to put. You know. Now, when you're sitting out there in the truck on the trailer, going, do you practice your pedals and everything too?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So you got that
Absolutely.
down. You got that
Oh,
down.
yeah, my footwork's all right.
Good.
It's getting there.
Okay.
That's why the truck was flooded when it came to my house.
That's right.
Did you make it sound like a V8?
Say again.
Did you make it sound like a V8?
Oh, absolutely. I got that down, man.
Well, Scott, I think we done found you somebody to race with.
And if you make them out there too when you're
Scott does that when he's racing during the race.
That's right. Absolutely.
Oh my goodness.
But he has a problem, and I'm glad you practiced with your pedals and everything because Scott forgot his pedals, what pedal was what.
Oops.
I didn't forget. I just hit the wrong one.
Coming.
That was when you started up front, wasn't it?
Yeah, he was on the
That was-
outside.
Which
That was
is
that week.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the
I had
outside
to brake
pole.
instead of the clutch.
nice.
Don't laugh.
I was sitting up here, and everybody was going, and somebody hollered from over there, "Who's driving Scott's car?" Because they said it was on the outside. Well, who's driving Scott's car? And then when the race started, they said, "Scott's driving." But that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's fun, man. I'm
So,
having a blast. And just meeting everybody. And just, everybody always talks about the Langley family and the aspect of it. And like going back to Louis, just seeing the outpouring from everybody. And it's amazing.
You'll give a shout out who made your shirt for you under
James at Race Gear Merch has Louis shirts, but he made this so we could have this. I told him I was coming on your show. And he made this, made it and shipped it out, overnighted it, so make sure we have it. So it was nice of him to do that for us.
yeah,
He's a good
it's not going to be the same this year in the truck series without Louis being there, being a part of
Absolutely
that.
That's true.
And you won't have Rick there for a while. I'm understanding he's going to be missing some races. So
Hey, you
as long as you put gas in your truck, as long as you put gas in your truck, you'll be ready to go.
That's a damn top 3 right there.
That's right. As long as I can keep
You
up
see how he
with
thinks?
Shannon, and as long as I can keep up with Shannon and Chase,
Hey,
I can just stay right behind them
that's third.
and just hang out right behind
You're on
them.
the board.
I'm happy with that. My
I
number
think you
done
ought to
moved
let
up.
Amanda drive one of the trucks and race against him.
That'd be a blast.
Yeah.
We need more
We don't
trucks
have a
anyway.
truck that
No, put a grandson.
that she could see out of and fit in the seat. I mean, she can
What do
sit
you mean
in the
see
seat
out of?
and put her arms
You don't
all the way
need to
inside
see.
the rib cage of everybody's
Nah.
seats.
You know how close you are when you hit somebody.
Or a wall. Or...
Yeah,
I already
that's
did
too
that.
far.
Never
Hey,
mind.
I
Yeah.
finished third in my one race. Y'all,
Yeah.
That's a true story about that number on the scoreboard too. I thought the thing was broke. I thought it like froze up on like one of the laps.
that's
or-
supposed to be 18 or something. What's
It's
missing
missing,
on that
uh,
I was,
number?
It's
I was
missing.
spotting for you that night.
You were, and I asked her.
And
I was like, I remember I asked her if the
down on
scoreboard
Pit
broke.
What'd you say?
I said, "You look at the scoreboard. Your number's up
I said
there."
it's broke. There's something wrong with it. It wasn't.
Did you have to go to tech?
No.
Oh, they only took top 3.
Oh yeah.
Well, that's good. I mean, now you know you can, until you start running in 1 and 2, you can go ahead and put some to, help move things along a little bit. I know Jared knows how to. I know he knows how to cheat.
Why do I know how to cheat?
Well, you better run
Because you ain't
my-
never been called it. I know.
I like that answer.
Who was it we had on the show? Said that he said, "Oh no, it was Hippie." He said, "I guarantee you, he won't get caught cheating because I know how to cheat and not get caught."
Well, that's a pretty good deal. Maybe Jared will get you in one of them other cars and let you go down there and run that dirt late model down Dixon Lane one time.
Can't do any worse than I did.
Did you have a hard time with the dirt down there?
The dirt, no. The car, yes. The car acted up. It wasn't right. And then everything I've ever driven has been like her car or, trucks or super street, those late models were wide. And I came off
yeah,
before
those
and
things are
just
huge,
flat
dude.
forgot how wide that car was. And I got the outside wall. And then I couldn't get the car to come up to RPM in the corners. It just didn't want to work the right way. And
Was that your first time racing on dirt down when you went down there?
it was my first time in a late model, and it was my first time at Dixon. But I've raced 4 or 5 other dirt tracks with the GM metric style chassis. So not my first time on dirt, just my first time at that track with that big of a car.
In other words, he doesn't have an excuse.
He finally found a fence. There ain't but one place that has a fence down there.
Yeah, I know. It's like, there's nowhere else I could have hit the wall, but I found it. I found the one spot.
I know the wall as well.
You see, you would have been all right though. You hit the backstretch wall.
Yeah.
There wasn't one of them for me to hit.
Yeah, just go
No.
down
I
there
had
and
to wait until the front
Ooh.
stretch.
There is no backstretch wall.
There's no corner walls.
There
Either,
is
is
no-
it? It's just
there's
dirt
no-
berms.
Yeah, there's nothing on the 3 and 4 down
You
there.
go over the edge, it's do-do-do-do.
Well, at one point, wasn't there? I'm thinking maybe it's out 3 and 4, way back in the day. Wasn't that just a cornfield or a soybean field or something? out
How
back
about
there?
a pond back there?
Was it a pond back
Yeah.
there?
Yeah.
See, my dad raced down there in the
You end up in a pond.
early to
Yeah.
mid
Well, it
90s,
has
I'll
a-
call
Yeah,
it. And I remember there was nothing over there at all to stop you from going into whatever it
No,
was.
it was not. And I raced down there a couple times, but I was racing in a mini stock race, and the guy shot down through the back the back straightaway and went out of sight.
Oh,
Oh.
Went out of sight, but we saw water flying.
oh yeah.
we saw water flying, but then all of a sudden he come out of turn 4 and he was back on the track. Right.
How does that work?
They were throwing flags and everything. They thought for sure he was in the water, but he come right on through it.
We had that up in Saluda one year. Dude drove off a turn 1 wall, hit back when it was still boilerplating up there before they went guardrail, and he went outside of the turn 1 wall, and all the officials go running from pit road up, and they're all standing at the wall, getting ready to jump over the wall, and they're yelling and looking and trying to get flashlights and stuff. Guy comes driving back around and comes right up through the hole in turn 1 where they used to take their water truck out at, and they're all over there still looking for him. He was
Back on the
driving
track.
across into pit road.
Didn't Grandpa go across?
No, he sat right on the top of it.
Close enough.
That was weird to see that happen when you see the water go flying like it did, and then
You never hit the water?
no, I never hit the water. And no, we ain't
Not
gonna,
the water.
I ain't gonna say nothing else. I know what you're getting ready to start with next. Right? Going there. Well, Kevin, we appreciate you coming all the way up here and talking with us.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
You know,
I
I hope
appreciate the
you-
opportunity.
I hope that with some way, down the road, maybe Scott can pull his car up beside you out there at your house and y'all can.
Can I park on the street?
That's right. Well, that's where I was at.
I mean, you can sit there and y'all both can.
That's
We
right.
could be on the front row together.
That's close as I'll ever get. That's when we did our
But you-
driver
but you-
introductions down there that one time, and on pit road, and I was just sitting there looking. I was like, "This is close as I'm ever going to get to victory lane right here." Like, quick, I can take a picture.
I was gonna say something else, but but Scott there. That's probably close you was gonna get too.
No, I appreciate that. Thanks for having me. It's a pleasure.
And maybe next year we'll get you in on that driver of the year. You get your driver of the week and everything, and be back up here.
Oh, I can do that.
Yeah. Well,
You got to do something big though.
Yeah.
I don't know what.
Knock the wall down next
Yeah.
time.
or you could do like Scott did.
It felt like.
Oh, Scott, no.
Scott, what are you
He'll
talking
never
about?
equal up to what Scott did.
Scott finished 4th and got driver of the week, but there won't be 4 cars in the race. Okay.
Don't be hating, Jack.
And the people, I go home that night. I leave the racetrack, go home that night. I'm sitting there and my phone is blowing up. Beep, 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 beep. The guy got 100 and some votes for driver of the week.
In one night.
And finished 4th. And I ain't gonna call no names either, but I will say Robbie Parker. But made the comment, did you see how good Scott run tonight? I saw. Yeah, you did.
I missed all kinds of wrecks that night.
Yeah, you missed them. You was way behind them.
Hey, sometimes that's an advantage.
Mason Dunn said the award is rigged. I'm still waiting on mine. I'm trying to figure out.
Mason was robbed. I'm gonna agree with Mason.
Really? You gonna agree with him?
He was the only one race that weekend and won something in the.
We had already stopped the awards before that happened. He knew that.
He should have raced the week before.
That's right. He knew that.
I
The
tried,
award-
Mason. I tried.
The only awards that were rigged was when he had his mafia out after us. That's what it looked like. It looked like a mafia where everybody was voting.
That's all you need.
That's right.
That's all you need.
But now he's not eligible anymore. So anyway. Well, Rick, Kevin, we appreciate
Yeah,
it.
thanks, sir.
Jared, appreciate you coming out and hanging out with us.
Yeah, I appreciate it. He's here for moral support for me.
And
And
and of course you were quiet again. Just
Amanda.
So what's your racing going to be like this year? Earbuds in your ears.
That's the whole thing, Jack.
No, I know that, but I'm
Tell me
saying,
you
what
have
you
one
listening
next
to?
week.
Nothing I know.
What were you listening to?
We're listening to Jack right now.
That's what you were supposed to say, but you didn't say that.
Jack will have him up
So
there
what's your
next
plans
week.
for?
Yeah, what's your plans for this coming year?
Going faster.
Good answer.
Still in grand
I like
stock.
that answer.
Yeah, so.
Go fast.
Staying in grand stock this year.
Go fast, turn left.
Mhm.
So how many cars are we looking at in the grand stock? What is the effect that you see with the new class coming in and the grand stocks and everything? What do you?
Well, the new class coming in, I'm concerned because I do know that I'm pretty sure there's a couple of drivers in the grand stocks that would look at moving up. Nobody I've heard specifically say, yes, I'm getting limited and I'm leaving grand stocks, but it's an easier step to go to what I feel like is a more adjustable car and possibly an easier car to set up from a driver's point of view.
It is. It's going to be still going to be more expensive.
It's more expensive, but and this can really be taken the wrong way, but grand stocks were stuck. Grand stocks are a Langley Speedway class. We cannot take that car anywhere else. It doesn't
Yeah,
match.
I mean, pretty much most of the classes are, for
Yeah.
the most part.
I mean, to a degree, you can take the super streets and go somewhere. Trucks, I know there's a track down in North Carolina somewhere that people have been racing them because yours came out of North Carolina, didn't it?
Mhm.
But that still gives you the option that if you want to take the car and go somewhere else, you've got that option. And as far as numbers go, I've heard we're supposed to have a couple more out here. I know there was one put up for sale, complete car, and I heard that an older grand stock had been purchased by somebody, so that might be coming back out here.
Yeah, I know one was purchased, an older one. It's
Yeah.
coming.
And I haven't heard who got it, just that somebody had picked it up and
The one with an 88 on it.
yeah. And then I've heard that we should see at least one of the two that got wiped out last year mid-season should be back. I don't know about the other one because
Well, Paul's building a new one, right?
Yep, that's what I've heard. And somebody told me they heard Jamie might come back, but I don't know. I think there was something said that Jamie's wife said no, he wasn't ever getting back in a car, and I can't really blame her.
What's the other car you said was sold? You said two of them were bought.
No, there's one for sale right now. I don't know if it's gone anywhere yet, but Zach Frederick had put up. It's the 78 through 88 body style, like a Super Street body on it still, but it is a grand stock car.
Gotcha.
And he had posted that up a couple weeks back and put it for sale. So I don't know if it's been bought yet or not, but that's out there to go too. So I would like to see our numbers back up. We started at 9 last year, and then we lost 2, and we had one that couldn't make it every week because of his work.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't blame a man for having to do his job. But I think we got more cars there than what some people give us credit for. So if we'll see that happen again in 23 or not.
As a person who's been around here for a long time and been around racing, what do you think the new division, what kind of car count do you think we're going to have there?
I think it's going to be a decent field.
I know a lot of people want to move into it.
Yeah, I mean, you're seeing a lot of the younger kids moving up into it. My concern though is we did this in 2020 when they were supposed to be working with Dominion, and we saw like 4 of them show up. You know, Zach and
Alicia.
then Pembleton show up with his, and Alicia till hers got wrecked.
And Cole, what's his name? Cole runs up here at Dominion. Cole Bruce.
Yeah,
Warren came brung his a couple of times.
and that was an unfair season, I think.
Oh,
Because I think there were people that were afraid to come out because of COVID, or people that may have been forced to not come because of their job saying, hey, you can't do this, that, and the other. So I don't know. It's just, I don't.
Well, I mean, they're committed to it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's here. It's not going anywhere.
I mean, I would hope that it brings a good field. I really do, because I think it's a good class. I think it would be a great class for them to have. I don't think we're at risk necessarily from saying no more grand stocks, though that was my initial concern in 2020, and obviously that didn't hold true. But everybody saw the Super Street deal, you know, at the beginning when they put out the 22 rules and what was going on with that. So I have a feeling that there's going to be a smash up between those two classes. I think so.
That would be my opinion.
Yeah.
And we haven't heard that.
No,
Anyway.
and I don't know. I don't like the idea, but at the same time, I can halfway understand it. But I also see how the class can fluctuate on its own.
It does.
And every class is going to go through.
I mean, it didn't sound like that when Bill and Vaughn were here. I mean, it didn't sound like they were going to, merge the classes. That didn't sound like that was even a thought. But who knows? I mean, you just don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, hopefully, if they get a few more cars there, then maybe it's not an issue.
And I like I say, I do know of at least one that will be returning, an extra one coming in this year.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then the old 88 car. So it could turn out we got a nice field.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like it.
Yeah.
Be fun to watch.
Well, it'd be more fun to watch, and it's more on her as far as her learning her driving skills, and
Mm-hmm.
if I'd learned to listen to her, we could have been better.
I agree with that.
I kept seeing a tight car. That car would come off the corner and it would go to the wall. And it would go to the wall. And I
Depends
loosened the
on if
car,
you're chasing
loosened the
it.
car. She was chasing it the whole time. We tightened it up, brought it out here in November and tested, and it was a whole lot better. And she told me it's loose. I don't see loose. I see tight. and that's what we go for.
Put the old tape on the steering wheel. How much wheel you putting in it?
Yeah.
But she got marks. She just wouldn't tell me that. So.
I can't see anything. I'm like, I don't know. I think I put my hand down about here.
I didn't pay attention to that. I just.
That's pretty bad when, you know, the owner of the car won't listen to the driver very much. That's pretty sad, you know, but.
Well, I've never.
He admitted it.
Yeah, I've never known how, because when we started with her, she couldn't really tell us what she needed. And we had to pull it from her, you know, by asking certain questions, certain ways to get the answers to what we needed. And
I can't say no.
she figured it out. And I mean, she didn't pile it up. So I got no complaints other than I should have listened a little bit better. I mean, we were burning the right rear off every race. And so on that side, it tells me it's loose. But when I'm watching her on the racetrack, it shows me it's tight. And then find out she's chasing.
It can be a tight loose too. I mean,
Well, that's true. That's true.
I mean,
I guess next year you need to listen.
I think so.
So who all helps you with your car besides him?
My grandpa, David, Wesley, you.
Just you.
I just moved it.
It's like probably the main people.
We got a good group.
Oh yeah.
Tell us about your sponsors and anything before we get ready to leave. Tell us. Thank
I
you.
don't have any. I am my own sponsor.
No, you're
I'm
not.
your sponsor.
No, you're not.
Well,
I'm trying to help you here.
my wife.
Hold on, let me look at a couple of these messages. We'll see what she has to say.
I'd like to thank my wife. No,
It's like I have to tell these kids, you thank your mom and dad.
yeah, no.
They don't thank mom and dad. And then you're sitting here and you're a rookie.
Yeah, that's right. I'll learn quick. No, I'm doing it on my own. So I know I'm not the only one, but the physical, you know, as far as the getting the help from everything is Jared and David Newell and Wesley Newell and Angela and Jared's dad, all them guys, and Shannon. I can't thank them enough, man.
Who helps you with yours?
With my dirt car,
Any of them.
they all showed up down there that night. I mean, shoot, I Robbie Morris was there, and my dad, David, Wesley, Amanda, my wife, Amanda's sister Jessie. Everybody was there, and they all got to see me kicking the sides back in to make it fit in the trailer at the end of the night. I rolled in after hitting the wall, and Robbie looks at it. He goes, "You're all right. Go again." I got home, the wheel was about to fall off in front of the car. On Amanda's car, it really is. It's a great crew though that works with us out here on Saturday nights with my dad, David, and Wesley Newell. My wife Lisa, she does a lot of our cooking and stuff. I mean, we don't go hungry on race days at all. And it's race trailers, you know, you roll up, they got lasagna going in a crock pot. I mean, it's great. Then
Note that down.
yeah.
Yeah, write that down because
Fits
we
in one
need
trailer.
to remember that.
They didn't know what trailer it is. But yep, I mean it's a great crew and couldn't ask for a better group of people out there because we have fun. And
We
that's
did
what it's about.
the Urbana Christmas parade this past season.
Oh, that was pretty cool.
That was fun.
Took 3 of them up there.
That was a
I
good
saw the
time.
pictures from that. And I thought that was pretty cool.
We did Amanda's car in it in 2019, and we really missed it last year with everything shut down and couldn't do anything. Because in 2019 we finished our season. We did a trunk or treat down in Virginia Beach, another one up here in Hampton. I don't remember the name of it. Fox Hill.
Mhm.
And then we went up. We did the Christmas parade up there in Urbana. And then last year was just nothing. You know, I mean, I sat at home kind of saying, well, I mean, I guess we tear the car apart because you know, we don't have anything to do.
You always go out there like I do, just make race car noises.
I just go out and start a car up. I live in the woods. Ain't nobody gonna bother me.
I can see somebody that's in this room right now doing that. going sitting in the car making motor noises and stuff.
She
During
goes
the
in there,
parade.
she has Snapchat videos and all that stuff. She'll sit in there, make noises with the car, or she'll start the car up, and then as soon as I reach in and hit the switches, she's like, "Hold on, I gotta get a video first." So,
Tell you what though, clutches in those parades don't mix. Manual
No.
transmissions were not fun.
try it with the dirt car.
No, no.
That's
That's a
not
workout.
good.
That's a
not good.
workout.
Yeah, I did that in the Franklin parade a couple
Boy.
times.
That
It's not really
was a
good.
good time. We had fun.
I still gotta go to plaque for that.
Cool.
The person that was doing all the plaques and stuff works at the town hall and they were sick, so I haven't been able to get up there to get it.
Well, Kevin, appreciate you being here. We
Yeah,
appreciate
thank
you
you.
being here with us.
Glad you brought
Glad
one
you're
sponsor.
sponsoring. Glad you're sponsoring the
That's
the
right.
park and everything. Amanda.
Yes.
We're glad you're here, even though we didn't know it.
Absolutely.
And we're glad Jarrett came by. Next week, we're gonna have John Phillips on here with Eddie Clark is gonna come by next week. So we have a surprise for next week. Mark Wirtz is gonna be here next week talking about the big race at Florence, and he's the Keen's Auto Parts and everybody's involved in down at Florence for the Icebreaker 100. He's gonna come by and talk about that. And my buddy David Adams has got a announcement he's going to make next week on the show. So we got some stuff going on next week. So anyway, appreciate all you folks being here with us. Please like and share our videos, and we'll see you again next week.
All right, guys. Thank you.